What's up, people? Popping back on here. Ain't been on for a minute. May try and start making some more vids. I said I want to put out some health vids. I want to do some stuff on water and whatnot. Seeing what people are drinking. I'm talking about my water filter and whatnot. But this is just filthy. You could see that all from airplane trails. You can see the one trail here. There's actually a couple lower trails, but every inch of this is from airplanes. That Wigginton, the scientist Dane Wigginton debated, says this is, it only forms a very thin sheet, contrail cirrus. But if you look, you can see here, it's starting to form full clouds. Little puff there, little puff in here. So you give it a little while, let whatever the frequencies hit it and whatnot, and you got full-fledged clouds. Not a thin layer. You can see the smears. I've had dragging clouds, dripping clouds, all kinds of stuff lately. So, strange stuff. A lot of strange people out there in the truther community pushing their stuff right now. Not that they're strange people, but I think, I don't know what there's been, another level of a recruitment or whatnot, but like I said, a lot of people are putting stuff out to make money. Putting out 2 videos a day, something like that. You're not necessarily looking for the truth all day. You're trying not to get a 9 to 5, which there's nothing wrong with that. But, some people are thinking we're on the brink of something like every day. Which, what have we been on the brink of? Yellowstone's been gonna go off. The economy was gonna collapse how many times? The FEMA camps, the Dabu shows you every time the troops are moving. So, people are taking advantage, trying to act like we're on the brink of something every minute here. So people need to chill out a little bit, see what's in front of you, and get your concerns in order, your air, food, and your water. I remember seeing that Tom Loopshoe, probably about 2 years at this point, calling up Yellowstone, talking to one of the rangers there, telling him how he's in danger and he doesn't have the information, but Tom has the information, and, they're not telling the public, and it's going to blow, Very tricky to know if a volcano is going to blow. It's nice that Mary Greeley watches it, and she doesn't, push it or scare people with it, but, she kind of has you looking at it like something, we should always be watching it. That's not something we can assess. If that thing goes, put your head between your legs. If that thing goes, If Nibiru comes, you ain't gonna be able to stop Nibiru either. So we gotta stay, a little focused. You got KJ. I've always liked KJ, the scariest movie ever. But he does the same shit. Everything is, him and Dabood are into the demons and whatnot. So KJ put out a video a couple weeks ago. There was that news clip with, it was actually like a live news broadcast, and there were things flying in the sky. They look like sperm, with all these little things flying all around. And KJ is, doing his video. He's like, and we know these things are making themselves more apparent to us, and these things are coming out more and more and showing themselves to us. And then it came out that news broadcast, it was birds. They showed the birds flying by the camera that KJ told everyone was demons. And, he didn't come out and take that back unless he did in a live broadcast or something. But, if you can't really assess what a demon is 100%, don't be putting it out there, making a market out of it, It's apparent there's something going on. People want to say it's demons, it's aliens. You just got to look back through history and know that there's always been something identified as a evil force, an evil spirit, something like that. So, people want to say demons are shapeshifters and masters of deception, and aliens can change into anything. So how do you know which one is which? If everything's a master of deception, how do you know a demon from an alien? Makes a great video though. So, I'll watch KJ for entertainment at this point, but I don't like people really asserting what something is if they really don't freaking know what it is. And that freaks a lot of people out. There's a lot of people are at every different stage of emotion and stability. So, if you think that doesn't freak people out, it does. And then you get a lot of scatterbrained people running around because they're concerned about some crazy shit. So flat earth is all good, but there's people tweeting all day about it and doing stuff all day about it. It's like, tomorrow they told me the earth was flat. All right, get up, go to work. It's all good. NASA lies. NASA lied last week. They're going to lie next week. So, that's not the biggest surprise and not really worth dedicating too much to it, because what are you going to get from it? The biggest thing you get from it is that NASA lied. Unless you're going to travel out to Antarctica and be able to touch and prove stuff yourself. That's another thing too. Everybody's got a video, what's going on in Antarctica, there's something in Antarctica, and John Kerry's going to Antarctica. Who the fuck knows? It's not worth trying to analyze that shit. Jesus Christ, unless someone's going to get down to Antarctica and give you the truth, I wouldn't spend a minute on Antarctica. They can do what they want down there. Surely are. They've had nuclear bases. They've buried nuclear bases, defunct nuclear bases, and, where we can't see them, they're doing what they're doing and polluting wherever the fuck they go. So, ain't worried about Antarctica. Ain't worried about Hollywood. Screw all of these bastards. Roseanne, like Roseanne. But shit, no reason to do what you did. Now you're on a Disney Channel. You just had a whole bunch of success with a generation of people that probably introduced you to their children. And their children went and followed her on Twitter, I'm sure, because she's getting tons of followers even now that she's lost her show. But, children are watching you. Now you got to maintain yourself. It's great she's a comedian and she's always been a little risque. And, she did the thing back in the day where she grabbed her crotch during the national anthem. Everybody got over it. It was the biggest thing for a while. We can see we're getting nice little puffy clouds. Not thin contrail cirrus, forming full-fledged clouds. Layer thick as can be. So if you came down to Florida and you wanted to take your ass to the beach, this is what would be near your beach. I'm a little west of the beach, but if that wouldn't piss you off going to the beach and having this happen to your son, you could see a plane up there flying right through the mess. No trail. So, disgusting. I'm sure there's got to be some ripples running through here somewhere. Unless they didn't hit it yet. But, yeah, folks, there's too many people out there. Naomi Wolf is becoming popular again. She's on Twitter. She's starting to get into the chemtrail thing and whatnot. I sent her some information, and I don't think she even watched it, which is basically the home video on my main page that I got to put back up because YouTube took it down. But with Ken Caldera, he said one of the most evil statements in history, one of the most dangerous statements in history, saying that if humans are fine with killings and murders and don't put up a big stink, they'll be fine with putting aerosols in the sky and surely be fine with being told after the fact of them doing it if they were told that it was for the good of the world. So Ken Caldera totally justified it, said we'd do it no problem, and have no remorse or regrets about it and not need your permission or want your permission. Not that he's the whole head behind any program, but, that's a main body of science. He was invited to the White House with Obama, got awards from Obama, you name it. So he's as mainstream an opinion as you need. And, she's starting to gain another following. It's a little shady, some of these intermediate truthers. Once you get 5,000 followers or more, you start getting approached and things like that. You may start seeing things come your way. You may not even be a shill and realize it. You may just start seeing certain videos get promoted. You may start getting advertisements or certain offers. You don't know. Sometimes you become an unintentional shill and you just become motivated by the things that come to you. All of a sudden your Richie from Boston channel blows up, so you're talking about CERN when you're like a freaking construction guy. To know about CERN, you gotta be Jesus Christ. You gotta be such a scientist to know what the hell's going on up at fucking CERN. Oh my Lord. So, I think there's definitely shady stuff going on with CERN. I think they're trying to tap into shit. You're looking for the God particle and stuff like that. They're trying to tap into creation, and they're trying to mimic how things were done. Just like they're trying to mimic our food supply with GMO, they're trying to mimic our weather with geoengineering. Everything is a mimic right now. That's why they're cloning things and duplicating things and giving you artificial things. Science is about mimicking and giving you their version of it, you know. They're getting close with that cloning thing. They just had something where they transferred a memory between two snails, which reminds you of the film The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where they'd clone bodies and then transfer the SIM cord, the memory, to another clone and whatnot. And that's dangerous shit. That's as dangerous as it gets. Even Putin came out and said that's the biggest danger to the world. Not nuclear, but genetic manipulation. Which would include cloning and all that good shit too. Very dangerous. We can't tell the fucking difference. That's the dangerous part. I've seen people convinced of the most simple things. We're not that smart of creatures, people. Go watch the Just for Laughs channel. You know, the joke channel. I've seen people convinced that a German Shepherd was driving a car. I've seen people convinced that, you know, two women teleported in a mall, which were just, you know, two twin sisters. You know, we're not that hard to fool. So the stuff that's out there, it's easy to fool us. You know, we're watching a lot of people that are, it's hard to know it, but they're like the former geeks. You used to have the Star Trek geeks and your sci-fi nerds. Now they got YouTube channels and they got editing software. So they can kind of take their, you know, a lot of people like fantasy and living in space and the idea of aliens, and they're kind of presenting it in a great fashion because they got skills, and it gives it more credibility when people watch it. So, you know, some people are getting lured into the real hard sci-fi nerd theories when they wouldn't before, but it's presented so nice now in some of these different channels, you know, it entices you in, and before you know it, you're thinking about some crazy shit. You know, it's good for entertainment, but don't sit there waiting on third phase to make the big drop of the disclosure. It's not coming tomorrow. Disclosure's been coming every day now for the past 20 years, and people are making whole careers out of it. Contact in a desert, and there's experts on crop circles, and some of these people are making whole careers. You gotta be a little questioning of it. You got this Rachel Renstra who came out with the Chemlung video. You know, she's an actress. She's getting a following. Why is she getting into the truth community? She supposedly works with Disney too. You don't want to be a conspiracy theorist if you're trying to be associated with Disney. You know, she had that shady doctor. And all of a sudden she's got, you know, she's got almost 10,000 subs, and she's talking about, I don't even know what a shill is. What is a shill? And blah, blah, blah. And like I said, sometimes you're an intentional shill. You may just start seeing your channel blow up. Some offers come your way. Who knows? You know, she said she had someone come to her about writing a book, like out of the blue. And the guy just wanted to meet her, and then he didn't have no ideas, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was probably just to feel you out somehow. And he's probably some sort of, you know, not necessarily a recruiting agent, but, you know, something to feel you out. So you got to be careful with these people. Definitely. There's a lot of these, like, middle truthers starting to gain ground. Like, out of nowhere. What's his name? Jordan Sather. What's it? Beyond the Illusion or something like that. You know, he was putting out a ton of videos. I don't know if I unsubbed from him or what, but he's a smart dude. But what I think he is he's a good assembler of information, sort of like a Drudge Report. You know, he's not, I don't believe he knows everything about every occult and whatnot that he's talking about. It takes a long time to learn all of that stuff. You know, he put out a video one day called The Event, you know, about a metaphysical event. The day before, there was a video put out by Sage Goddess, who is a metaphysical expert, crystal dealer, you name it, called The Event. Talking about, you know, a big metaphysical awakening. So I think he may be pulling other people's stuff and kind of assembling it on his channel, and people are, you know, gravitating towards it, which there's nothing wrong with that. But he's not knowledge. You want knowledge? Manly P. Hall is knowledge. Until you've listened to every Manly P. Hall lecture, I wouldn't listen to any Jordan Sather lectures. And I'm not trying to knock him, but knowledge is knowledge. You know, Manly P. Hall knows about the religions. He knows about the pyramids, the ancients, the texts, the monks, you name it. I mean, that's knowledge. electromagnetics, frequency, you know, the universe, that's knowledge. So, let's see here. On top of everything else here, we got a major tree die-off. See if I could show some of it. Here's one palm tree dead. Here's another palm tree dead. And there's like every, I'd say 10th palm tree is dead now. I don't know what's going on. These are okay. There's a dead one right up in here. Right in the back. And there's some down that way. I ain't going that way, but something's going on with the palm trees here. Oh, there's one right here at the top of the house here. Where is that? Yeah, this guy here. So, I don't know what's going on with the trees, but they're taking a beating. Everything in the sky here is from airplane trails. The sky is totally white. You can see the trail here, right in the center. What do you want? Come on. Greedy ass squirrel.